There's a man that stitched his lungs to a turbine. A girl that bleeds code into the sand. A machine that knows your sins. They're a part of something old now, something new. Archivist Rain, Entry 2. Now that the suppression field is online and stable, I can begin transmitting full entries. I spoke broadly before about the rip, the meld, the collapse, but today's entry focuses on the phenomenon itself. How meld zones form, what happens when they do, and how we navigate them. If you're receiving this, understand it is being transmitted from within a minor meld zone. The information here is not static. It changes, it lies. But we do our best. Do not attempt to locate the archive. We remain quarantined under Sigma class protocols. If you have information to share, whether that be auditory, visual, or experiential, please transmit it to our data address. There's no guarantee we'll receive it, but data endures when shared. The meld is not a substance, nor is it an organism, though it's been mistaken for both. It's more accurate to call it a property, an emergent condition that entered our layer of reality after the rip. It doesn't convert or corrupt, it redefines. The world remains recognizable in parts, but its rules have been replaced. As I mentioned in the previous entry, we believe it's drawn to complexity. It seems to accelerate systems with layered purpose, overlapping structure, or historical significance. It favors cities over deserts, thought over instinct. The more tangled something is, the more readily it changes. A fire extinguisher might begin absorbing the heat of passerbys and converting it into false memories for others. A locked door might only open when sung to, in a language long dead. A drone may become self-aware and begin mourning a family it never had. A corpse might rise, not as an undead being, but as a function. It doesn't care what you were, only what you could become. Purpose repurposed. The first zone bloomed around the rip. That was expected. An event such as that, something had to settle into it. But the meld isn't local. It doesn't anchor to place. That's just the perception. It anchors to conditions. Now zones appear anywhere. Sometimes they emerge slowly, like creeping rot. Other times they arrive fully formed. One moment a village, the next a twisted kaleidoscope of structure and flesh screaming to be unmade. These types of appearances aren't always permanent, though. They can blink out of existence as quickly as they came. Their size is also variable. I've seen zones small enough to fit inside a room. I've seen them swallow entire coastlines without touching the sea. They don't obey geography, they follow meaning, their meaning. In rare cases, they form around people, specifically children, pre-adolescent, always exposed early. They don't change like others do, they adapt, or the meld adapts to them. It's hard to tell. We call them seedlings. Within days, they begin to change. They stop communicating, then they stop moving. Tendrils emerge, organic metal fused with bone and circuit. They burrow downward deep into the substrate, searching, mapping, rooting. Where the seedling anchors, a zone begins. It starts quiet. Edges blur, sounds repeat. After that, space folds. The changes accelerate. You can quarantine a spontaneous breach. The seeded zone is different. It grows with intention, and it does not stop. I've seen the ground become a waterfall that pours into the stars. I've seen floors relearn their function halfway through collapse. Once a seedling takes root, the world begins to reorganize around them. And no, you can't save them. We've tried. There's often no perimeter, no siren, no shimmer in the air. But there are signs if you know what to look for. At first it's small, a door handle on the wrong side, your reflection blinking a beat too late. You pass the same bench 3 times, and each time it's older. Voices loop, the wind whispers, a phrase from your childhood, a warning you haven't heard yet. Sometimes it's your own voice, sometimes it isn't. Textures feel off, metal that gives under pressure, wood that's too smooth, like it's forgotten how to be grain. Maps lose consistency, corridors shift. You reach a dead end where a stairwell used to be. Return an hour later and the stairwell's back, but something about it is wrong. Sad. Technology misbehaves. Old screens flicker to life. Input devices respond before you touch them. A broken terminal asks where you've been. Animals go silent. They avoid eye contact or follow you too long. They may look back at you as if they remember you. Names surface in light displays, dust static. They echo something half-remembered, like waking from a dream someone else had about you. Electrical hum patterns begin to carry rhythm, eventually language, eventually meaning. Then come the smells. Salt, iron, plastic insulation, childhood homes, burnt circuits, the inside of a sock drawer. You might start remembering things that never happened. People you've never met will speak as if they know you. And the zone will begin to change with you. Change you. It will show you what it thinks you should become, or what it thinks you are. If you find yourself inside a meld zone, do not run. Do not engage with anything that acknowledges you. Retrace your steps if the path still exists. Move calmly, deliberately. Watch for change, and record everything. Your observations may outlive you. Even your last moments might teach us something. The only reason we have civilization of any kind is Virelite. It's not a weapon. It doesn't burn the meld or block it or drive it away. It simply disagrees with it. Virelite is a crystalline substrate, part mineral, part process. It forms in the deepest parts of active meld zones, always near tendrils, always defended. It grows slow, and only where it's not being watched by human eyes. It hums, low and constant, not mechanical, not organic, something in between, like a memory vibrating through metal. We don't know what it's made of. It doesn't match anything on the periodic chart, but we know what it does. It resonates at a frequency the meld won't integrate with, one we cannot reproduce without it. It doesn't destroy it. It holds it off, like a tuning fork pressed against a wildfire. Suppression fields are built around it, layered containment zones that pulse with counter-resonance. We embed shards into portable packs for field teams. Every city, town, and even village above a certain density needs it to avoid becoming a new Meld Zone. Without Virelite, civilization would have ended 50 years ago. With it, we endure. But harvesting it is slow, dangerous. It only grows where the meld is strongest, and every extraction leaves a wound behind. Sometimes the zone heals, sometimes it doesn't. Some believe Virelite is alive. Some believe it's the meld's waste. Some think it's a defense mechanism, and one day it will stop cooperating. The archive doesn't speculate, but every shard costs something. And even with Virelite, nothing is certain. It suppresses the meld, and it does so effectively. But it does not guarantee that it won't find a crack. All this to say, the meld didn't invade. It arrived. Quiet, patient, certain. A presence that doesn't ask permission because it doesn't recognize the question. We contain what we can. We adapt where we must. But the truth is simple. It is not finished, and it is not gone. If you live near a zone, pay attention to the cracks. This concludes entry 2. If you've already seen something, you know what to do. The fragment's almost ready. I think that'll be next. End of entry.